What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today with a part 2 to my campaign clear stuff. We cleared the Sherlock wave, took quite a few attempts, and there was just this one attempt where we were in a better position and just cleared 1 or 2 Sherlocks, and then it worked out. By the way, this wave here is lagging like hell. It is actually insane. Might be the reason why this might be the ability of the Cthulhu's. But it's just insane. We have DGN there, so we have kind of a lot of debuffs on that as well. You can see like 11 there, but the lag, bloody hell. That's also the only game where I have this issue. It's like absolute madness. Pretty good upkeep of the CC still, but you can see there are some burns on our team, and yeah, it is. I think if they dealt a little bit more damage, we would be in quite the bad position. I have no idea how they managed to freeze my SQH as well. Like, no idea. I don't know. Like, there should be no way to do that, right? I don't know if any of them has the ability to do that. Which kind of makes me think that the DTV ability might be a bit off. Because the DTV has an ability that is supposed to freeze. Is that supposed to freeze your own team? Can't imagine that's the case. Well, let's check that. So, we did some pretty good damage there. I'm also always surprised by the DGN damage. I mean, she's not built for damage in this team, but still, that's quite good. No homeowner as well. Didn't even notice the Starving Jara died. And yeah, most of the damage was dealt by seemingly nobody, because those guys didn't deal like a whole lot of damage. Bit confusing. So, okay, it's just 2 times the same stage in a row. Very interesting. Let's check for that DTV ability for a second, because that's something I'm quite curious about, because there is this one DTV ability. Deals damage to backline enemies with a 30% chance to freeze them for 2 rounds. Might be that we just proved that this freezes your own team. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I think we just switch to this then. Bloody hell, if that freezes your own team. I mean, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Like, this also buffs all of your own heroes. If they didn't fix that, that's insane. They just use the same targeter as the... Oh my god. Like, they added that and they added the wrong number to it. They have like a number in the code. Oh my god. I think that's really the case, because there is just no freeze on Cthulhu and KB, is there? Damage reduction against King Shelter, no. Stun, it's not freeze. Damage to stun targets plus 100%. By the way, pretty cool that they had that. And then we have Cthulhu, and I mean, Cthulhu has a kind of cool effect with burn and bleed, and that can be very dangerous if you hit him. Immune to burn and bleed, by the way, which is also kind of nice. Back in the day, we used to use him against Valkyr, because all of her damage is burn and, well, burn. Not bleed, but burn, and he's just immune to that. But no, I think it's really the case. My god, that's horrible. That's really horrible if it really works that way. Okay, let's try to beat that stage again. Maybe with a bit less freeze dealt to our own heroes by the KV. But you can already see it's kind of curious what happens there. With those loading times on these stages. I think it will just be the same here. And the front row TBB obviously takes a lot of heat out of the stage, because you just don't get the counterattacks from those King Bartons anymore. And that's really kind of nice. I'm not really sure. I mean, I kind of want to try that now. I think I will experiment a little bit and find out about this DTV better. I can just place him in Flame Shrine, I guess. Maybe place him in Flame Shrine with the Rui Scepter and see if he can CC our own team. Is there an advantage to that? Like being able to CC your own team? In a certain way, I mean, like if you... In some situations, you don't really want your heroes to attack, probably against Augustin or something. And it would be kind of nice to be able to freeze your own team. But yeah, still, this is a bit weird. Pretty good damage from the DTV still. And beyond that, we are pretty much accumulating damage over time effects here, which is probably the cause for the lag. 18 stacks on this one, we have hundreds of stacks here on all of our heroes, and that is also all the damage that is incoming. I mean, the reason they didn't deal too much damage, I think, in the last screenshot is we can compensate most of that damage that is incoming there with our shields, but every single turn you can see our shields are being reduced, and there is a lot of things happening at the end of a turn. So yeah, that's kind of fancy in that sense. Great damage, but really it's a show of lag here. There is not really a chance here, I think, that we can lose this. I don't think there is. Like, as soon as... I mean, if you can outlast the Cthulhu's, CC the KBs with TBB, I think it's like a pretty good spot. We don't have too much energy feed, so if there is now another hero that dies, we're in a bit of a bad spot. But I think the next DTV active is just going to clear mid. Or one Cthulhu surviving. I think the next turn should be way less lag. Now the lag should probably be gone. So is the Cthulhu, so we don't really see a whole lot. You can see, yeah, there's just no damage. I kind of feel like maybe even the damage part hit ourselves from the DTV, because it certainly felt like we're losing our shields a lot more. Oh my god, that is a bit annoying. I hope the Isla Marks are faster than the Holmesiang. We have no Sherlocks here, so like we need just one good CC and then we're back in the game. This loading time is even longer. Okay, we just got a very good hit from the first Sherlock here. So now we have the full CC. Can probably keep that up now with the with Starving Jara and the TBB combo, and I think we're in a good spot here. I think 647 was still easy, and 648 is once again difficult, something like that, I think. So we'll just try and see that next stage as well, and see what happens there. And I think we'll continue through the easy stages, but I guess it's like insane how much HP those guys have. We're just pummeling them with DTV with like huge attack DG and STTB, and we're throwing all of that at them. And you can barely see the HP, or not even see the HP bar of those Holmesiangs moving. I think in some situations I've seen the HP bar of a Flame Shrine boss moving more, and the recovery. Bloody hell. Insane. Insane. That is really something that you don't want to face and fight. We are getting through them. And the good thing is, obviously, I mean, we don't see no more recovery here. And the reason is we have the freeze CC from Starving Jara on them, and that denies their heal, which is very nice. So, well, like both CCs, no energy, no heal. The first one that we have on those guys is no energy, the other one is no heal. Having both at the same time is actually possible. The one doesn't run out. So you can get to the spot where they just don't recover at all. With all the CCs that we have, I think we are in a pretty good spot here. So it should be a pretty easy win. I hope. Yeah, okay. Okay. But that's like the HP increase here, or the amount of damage that we had to deal. Look at that. And those heals, bloody hell. That's insanity. That's insanity. But we can deal the damage. Oh, Scarai. Interesting. Interesting. Not too much fancy stuff going on here, but I'm always kind of intrigued when I see Scarai. It's actually one of the rarer heroes in the Void campaign. It is a 5-star. It is a pretty cool one at that. But it doesn't really appear too often in the Void campaign, and well, it is also not that strong. Let's be real. If he starts punching through a team, okay, and you take multiple active skills, well, he can be dangerous. But other than that, once you have him in a CC, you are in a good spot. No way to actually kill you anymore. I think this is like, he belongs to the big bulk of heroes that TBB just trivialized, and we're no longer really afraid of. But you can see with less damage over time effects on my team, It is a bit less lag, it is still lag, mainly because of DGN here, and all of those effects that we stack on those enemies. Also through her Destiny Transition, we actually have Destiny Transition rank 3 on her, so every single turn, at the end of the turn, we inflict attack attribute reductions, for example, on them, and some of those effects that she can inflict are pretty strong. And especially once you have her Destiny rank 6, I think there is like a 50% attack reduction that you can inflict on the enemy. Absolutely bonkers. If you multiply that as well, that's quite insane. I'm actually looking forward to one day building a sustain team again, because we have so many good sustain team tools. We got the S-Arania, we got the SDGN, SDTV, and I mean, we're certainly going to advance some more heroes that go into that direction. I can see myself get an SMFF back again, maybe an SSQH. Those are certainly heroes that I care for, that are kind of interesting to me. But you can see this stage is just no threat at all. Quickly punching through here. And this DTV is still doing a ton of damage. It's actually insane. And that should be it. Yeah, that's it. Again, pretty similar pictures to the last ones. With the main DTVs still punching through them. So next stage should be a bit more difficult. Okay, what are we facing here? We are facing Gloria Marks, which are a bit insane. We are facing SQH with her pings, which is always a threat. And we are facing an SFX that should pack a decent punch. Galaxy Star is stuck here, but Rob Minx and JC actually passed it. So I think we just give it an attempt with this team. Full CC. We got Ferric Investor on there. I'm not really sure we need HHA, given that we run the double CC combo. Maybe an MFF would be interesting. All damage reduction, some extra shields. Could help. And I figure we might just want to get hit by the LOEs. Oh, well, the Wraec's doing it. That's also cool. Right. Gloria Marks, super dangerous. Super dangerous. Can just punch through Unbending Will, can nuke some of your heroes when they get hit, so that is certainly a threat. And the pings here quite strong, so I figure you will kind of need a lot of stats. The question really is, can our TBB take it? Oh. I don't really want to switch to Crown on her. Like, that's the thing, I don't really want to switch to Crown on her. We just have to survive the pings. So that means we just have to get to the point where we outscale them. That is just the easiest way to survive them. And it seems possible, though quite difficult. I think the Treasure Train really goes a long way here. If you have a big Treasure Train, big HP, big shields, that can really help. HHA obviously not the way, and we're looking at a situation like this. This is also kind of the reason why I've played with the thought of getting an Aspheric Investor, just putting a heal effect, bonus stat on her, and just using that to the fullest. It could have been very interesting. Also in this situation, like an Arania with Destiny Transition, could have been rather nice. Though the problem with Arania is she doesn't really provide shields. That is something that sucks a little bit. That is main territory of Ferric Investor. TVB just on the verge of dying. It's still very scary. We didn't really do a whole lot of damage to that enemy team yet, I have to say. Like, we're on turn 6, obviously. I mean, the fights before that also ended on like turn 11. As long as the TVB survives, though, I think we are alright. That Starving Jar is a little bit... And we're not really upgrading our survivability, what we would usually do when we had an MFF on the team. That's why I wanted her, because we would gain all damage reduction the entire time and not lose too much of the effectiveness of our crowns, which, now we're losing them. We already lost them on SQH, which basically means now we have no longer the extra effect of the Splendid Crown there. And as soon as those enemies actually break out, which means they would have to kill our Starving Jar and probably our TBB. But they are working towards it. You can see it there. It's just like, that's not a whole lot of HP, and that's certainly less than we want. Our damage, though, we just got rid of the ATD. Doesn't help us. We would need to get rid of that SQH. And not of that wall deck. That wall deck I would like to have survived till last, because, that thing will put a damage over time effect, a bleed on our team, and that could take out this weak Starving Jar here. So that is something that we want to avoid. But in general, from the difficulty of these stages, I still think SQH can be an insurmountable enemy. But if you have enough stats, if you can bolster up the survivability, I think at that point you are pretty fine. And then she's not that much of a threat. You can punch around her with some heroes, but though in the most cases, I mean, like most of our heroes that we use her are the meta heroes and they're hitting her all the time. So that's a bit of a problem. The wall deck is dead. Now the question is, can we kill those two before the damage over time kills us? Is it a mean damage over time? Well, it's not even that mean. Okay, not even that much of a problem. I think we are in a good position. SFX dead. SFX can always be a problem, and that Gloria didn't do too much. So really, I mean, all of the damage that was dealt to us by the pings. You can pretty much see a bit of proof for that if you look at the SQH not dealing any damage to us because she just didn't ping us, obviously. So we got through that stage. That is an easy stage once again. But I think for the sake of this video, 60 minutes is quite decent. Could take a look at what 651 is. I think we're just going to skip the next stage for this video because that won't be very interesting. We'll just punch through that. So see you after the stage for the next stage. Okay, and we got through the stage. Like really, there's nothing that happened here. Good amount of heal from all of the enemies, but literally they were CC'd the entire time we punched through there. So easy going. Boss stage now. We got a Drake. We got a DGN as well. I think I don't remember seeing her in Void campaign before. Obviously an SSM can be an issue, but I think like while we can't really CC all of those enemies, I think we just go with that team. Like we probably a tankier team would be a better adjustment for that. But yeah, don't really see that. By the way, a funny interaction really. If our TBB gets energy drain, she will still do her passive skill and inflict CC, which is a kind of fun way. Ooh, oh, that guy is doing some damage. And that is also the Transcendence version of Taunt. Very interesting Transcendence version of Taunt that Gaggy didn't get. That actually reduces our damage when we have that. So yeah, kind of scary. Honestly, that Drake isn't even needed. Like that SSM does massive damage. Bloody hell, that's insane. Let's get some CC on there. And like, if I imagine we need to survive for... Okay, that was alright. One option that we have if we fail here is to use DGN and use her energy drain options. That would give us a way to energy drain that. And we could also, of course, use PDE because she also features some energy drain. But the energy drain from DTV is actually quite nice. Now we will see counter attacks from that stance after the next active skill. So now we only got hit with the basic, which is quite fortunate. Also already starting to do some huge damage to that HHA. Interestingly enough, not able to provide any shields really, or a few shields. We got some shields there to the enemy. So it is one of the rare stages in Void campaign where you actually get a bit of use out of Ship Crusher. Oh! Our Etheric Investor just went bye-bye. And yeah, that is what I feared those active skills are in those active skills. Yeah, it looked like active skills. No, in reality, those are counterattacks. And they are scary, I have to say. Scary AF. Ooh. I mean, the next active skill from our DTV really has to carry us out of that here. Didn't really do it. So yeah, I'm not too positive about that actually, because that is certainly some. Oh, look at that shield! I mean, the carry is going to revive. That is going to be a problem. Ooh. Okay, he does not have too much Omen of Rift here, so that is good for us. I mean, the blue stance kind of insane. I mean, that is good though. Like honestly, this guy feels like a boss. I like that. We might just get the kill here because we got a weakness disclosure on our DTV, and yeah, that is some huge damage coming there. And as reward for all of this, orange artifact fragments, not even orange exclusive, 6, 4, 10 clear. Still the same bug damage numbers that we had since the beginning of Void campaign. So we got the clear here. 651, that is the last stage that was cleared by the other guys. Yeah, looks pretty doable, I guess. I mean, we can do that now. I think it's kind of an interesting stage. We have some passive things that happen here, so that is a bit dangerous, I guess. Okay, we got the SDE. SDE is like an enemy that you really don't want to underestimate. As soon as she gets her sun up, does the bonus damage, she starts to dazzle your heroes. That can be quite insane. Also, we got a little bit of combination of damage over time from the Home Xiang here and the Lasium, obviously, to copy that. The other thing that is very dangerous for this stage is that we have infinite CC, basically with 2 forms of CC, or we have the Jara, we have Home Xiang, and those 2 guys will inflict some huge CC on your heroes, and Delasium can also extend that. Next threat, mark damage from Gloria, and the threat after that is if you take an active skill from that forces, that will also take away attribute buffs and will do a huge chunk of damage. And at the same time, we have some passive effects from Gloria. We can see those bubbles here. Those are the marks when those enemies would now attack us. Those marks would explode with a chance to stun our heroes, and also would deal huge damage that can bypass Unbending Will, so a pretty big chance to kill our heroes, actually. So very difficult stage. And one of the stages, I think it was also in Area 2.5, and I made a guide a year ago? Like, it should be about a year ago by now. It's actually quite insane. But now we obviously have some tools. We have TBB, and TBB, well, yeah, takes the fun out of it, I have to say. Makes it a little bit too easy, in my opinion. But also, I also think that a lot of Void Campaign would not be possible, or at least a lot more difficult, if it wasn't for TBB and her huge damage that she deals in Void Campaign. And the huge CC she does in Void Campaign. I think it was also a bit adjusted for that. Okay, just eradicating this Home Xiang here with the rest of this active skill, and making this stage that has so many abilities that can be dangerous look far more easy than it was. Okay, we fought this stage before. It is kind of an interesting one with a double Wraec that can be quite difficult, and we have an SQH in there. And, well, the difficult part of it, obviously, is if you get hit, that hurts. And, well, we also have SQH pings. So, again, we have to survive SQH pings. A lot of huge heroes in there, a lot of huge damage dealers. And, obviously, SQH pings. The CC, not quite perfect. The core will fix that. Okay, we got full CC now. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, that hurts. That hurts. I really want MFF on this one, honestly. I really see myself take out... I'm not sure. Do we take out DGN? Because the heroes, obviously, that have divine power on them, they survive the pings way better, so that is kind of good. That took out our TBB. That is not good at all. I think we have to go with the gamble of like having Crown on TBB. I think there is not really another option to this. Because without DGN, it is certainly quite difficult. We can't outspeed with Starving Jar, so we will take a lot of damage there from, obviously, Armora breaking out. And once some other hero breaks out, we are in a pretty bad spot. Starving Jar not really doing her job here at the same time. Doesn't really help. Now we have 3 heroes that broke out, 4 heroes in total, only 2 in CC. Yeah, pretty bad. That didn't deal a whole lot of damage. I think we'll have to adjust a bit. I think we can take the basics. I don't even think we have to take all the basics. But I don't think we can support carrying that many mirrors on the team, or in general other artifacts other than Crown. So yeah, a bit difficult. But also at the same time, I think we're at a good duration for this episode of the Void Campaign clears. I think I will clear this very difficult stage a bit later on, tell you guys about it. Because I see this take a few attempts. But in general, I would say the key to it will be to work on our survivability. Another way I can see to clear it is obviously by putting HHA in the team and just out-sustaining it, but with big damage dealers here like the Wraec's. That will be a way more difficult, and then you have to start dealing with stuff for like 4Cs Marks and LFA-CC, and I did that for the first instant of this wave, but for this time I don't think we really are going to do that. I think the way will be to go like Crown again here, and I really want to put MFF back on the team. I really want to put back MFF on the team, and I might just take out SQH for that. It's honestly a shame that she isn't a tenant for somebody here. Can't really believe that. Like, she's an old hero and we have no hero and a homeowner that she's a tenant for. That seems kind of wrong. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.